Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to The Daily Grind. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. I'm back from the wilderness, from the woods. That's what I should have sang, but it would have sounded poorly. And so I sang a song I can sing. It is Tuesday, and every Tuesday, I got Rusty with me. How are you, brother? It's good to see you.
I am good, man. It is a beautiful kind of overcast day here in Memphis. Glad to be here this morning. Luke, I'm glad you survived your trip this weekend and you were able to be out in the woods. And there were no bear incidents. You know, I was talking to one of my neighbors who happens to be Australian, much like our friend Wayno here. And he said, did you know that koala bears are not actually bears? And I said, no, neighbor, I didn't know that. He said, yeah, they don't have the necessary qualifications.
Oh, that got me.
The Daily Grind.
I was waiting for a marsupial pun, not a koala pun, and so it really sideswiped me. And
that was for you, Wayno. I don't know if you're awake or not, but that was for you, sir.
Qualifications, because he's a koala. God, I love it. Man, I don't have a transition. We're just going to talk about the games because I was going to try to make a koala transition, but I can't do it. I'm not that good. We got some series and basketball series to talk about, brother. I missed. I was so grateful that I didn't disappear for the weekend in the woods and come back and these be sweeps. My biggest fear was that I was going to come back to the Western Conference Finals sweep.
Yeah,
and I really didn't want that. I wanted at least to go a little bit longer. And thank God it did. We've had two really good games in Minnesota after two not so good games in Oklahoma City. Just going to throw the score up here. The Minnesota Timberwolves lost in a much closer game than what we've seen out of this. It was 128-126. This was I don't know, man. After the game where they blew them out, this game went. The Thunder played like I expected the T-Wolves to play in game 2, if that makes sense. Like you get blown out, you make your adjustments, you come back, you have a really tight game that you ultimately eke out. That's what I expected the Timberwolves to do in game 2. They weren't able to do it, but the Thunder looked good here, man. Their big three had a combined 95 points. Is my math right?
It is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you?
This is the Thunder team that we knew that they could be. You got a SGA, he had 40 and 10 last night, 12 free throws, 12 of 14 from the free throw line, which is a stat that we always track around SGA. It is what it is. And then you get Jalen Williams. He bounces back, has 34 points, which are huge. Chet with 21. This is not the first time this playoff series that Chet, or season, really in a couple series, that Chet has stepped up in big moments for Oklahoma City. He had a big 21 points and 7 rebounds last night. He stepped up, played well for him to eke this one out. Minnesota, was in this game. They fought, they played well. You get Ant, doing big things. I think Ant, he had 16, not his best night last night, but he hit some big shots, especially late. They kind of got him back in it. McDaniels gave SGA all he wanted from a defensive standpoint last night. It's just SGA was getting his buckets, and this is why the Thunder are so dangerous, because they can blow you out, but they also, for such a young team, inexperienced playoff team, they have a lot of moxie that they can go toe-to-toe in games like this. Yeah, man. And
Minnesota, they had another dud of a game from Randall, 5 points in 28 minutes, which is a bummer because they got their best game from their DiVincenzo, Nas, and Na had 60. I mean, not 60, they had 50. Like they got what they needed from those guys, but when your number 2 and Julius Randle doesn't show up.
We talked about this, man. Like he looked really good in the last series because it was a half court type game, right? Like they slowed it down. It was a half court type game against Golden State, against the Lakers. The Thunder like to run. They're very athletic. They get up and down the floor. They put people in a blender, and that's exactly what they did last night. They got after Julius Randle, ran him up and down the floor, basically made him unplayable. He got 28 minutes last night, but he truly only needed 15 to get his little 5.7 boards because he was truly unplayable last night.
5 turnovers.
Wayno brings up a great point with an old picture of me in a Cubs hat there. High school, early college Rusties. So there's that. But who is Minnesota's third option, right? Because like last night it was Nall, was it DiVincenzo? Like they don't really have a consistent one behind Ant, and then now the inconsistency of Julius Randle.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like McDaniels can be really, really, really good, but he's also really easy to, with this Thunder team, with the whistle they get, he's really easy to be rendered useless because of his fouls, because like they'll get him a quick whistle and then he's on the bench, like it sucks because then it's like what it boils down to, if your number one and your number two guys don't show, I don't want to say don't show up, Ant just wasn't as good as Randall. Like when your number one and your number two guys don't play like they're your number one and your number two guys, and the other team's 1, 2, and 3 guys play like they are that, it's tough. I mean, like 95 points between their big three is insane. I mean, they didn't have, the only other guy in double digits was Alex Caruso. It's like it's 105 points between 4 guys. You're probably going to win. I mean, just plain as that. And then I don't know. Do you think that this Timberwolves team, do you think they win? Will they win another game?
No, I mean, I said Thunder in 4, and then when they won, in our group chat, Wayno was talking all these things, and I was like, yeah, that's cute, but Thunder in 5. And I mean, I truly like, they're going back to Oklahoma City. They've got all the momentum. They're clearly the better team, getting more, like you were just talking about, right? Like it's real inconsistent what you're getting from Minnesota, but what you get from Oklahoma City is pretty steady. And so I think they just bury Minnesota at home.
Yeah,
and that's a bummer because I like, my deep-seated hatred for Oklahoma City goes back many years, and I don't want to see it happen, but it's like cheering for the sun to come up, right? Like, it's going to happen. It just is what it is,
Yeah, I mean, you've got this, you mentioned it briefly just a second ago, this Oklahoma City team that likes to go. They're fast. Get their hands up in there, and they disrupt what you're trying to do. Whereas you got Rudy Gobert and you got Julius Randle, who are both slow half court guys, and it's just not their series. It's just
it's the cream of the crop in the Western Conference, and a team that's playing slightly above their heads, right? Mike Conley with that big, did you see that block that Mike had last night? I love that dude, just his hustle and for him to block. Like Jalen Williams thought he had the easy mismatch, and oh captain, my captain said like the old Dikembe Mutombo commercial. Exactly. RIP to the GOAT. But it's the cream of the crop in the Western Conference against a team playing above their heads. That's what it is. It was a foregone conclusion before the series started. It's just not a matter of if but when at this point. And I think the Thunder wrap it up in 5.
Yeah, well, and I want to shout out Mike Connolly. Verno's been doing an awesome job on all of his shows, shouting out Mike. But Mike Connolly continues to be like the only starter for this Wolves team that is a positive plus minus, and he's just consummate professional. Love watching that dude hoop. It's going to be a bummer when I hope he continues playing. I just hope he keeps going. Switching gears, let's go to this other series, man, which might currently have my personal who I want to see win the title at this point. I think I want to see the Pacers team win.
Absolutely. Anybody but OKC.
Anybody but OKC. Yeah, literally anybody but OKC. But if I had to rank anybody, it would be Pacers first, man. They got game 3 tonight in the field house. They're going back to Indianapolis. And I don't know, man. Pacers are up 2-1. They won 2 insane games. What do you expect out of this game? What do you think? Do you think New York wins? Do you think they win another game in the field house? I think it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. That crowd really gets into it. They don't typically lose at home. I said that the other day, and then they lost at home in game 3 in just an epic game. I don't know, man. This is a great series. I think this one's going to go at least 6, if not 7. I could see the Knicks winning and then heading back to New York, tied 2-2, only for Indiana to pull out, game 5 and see, I truly could see something like that happening. I mean, this is just that wild of a series. I don't know. The Pacers just play such team-oriented ball, and they can beat you from so many different levels with so many different dudes. Are you going to get a Nesmith game like is it the Pascal Siakam game? Is
the
it
TJ McConnell game?
The TJ McConnell game? We're still waiting on him to go like full nuclear, and then Hallie, like Indiana's a team that is not truly beaten until it's all zeros on the clock, right? And so I'm expecting another barn burner tonight, another classic game. This series has lived up to the hype. It's a throwback series like we talked about in the mid-90s, and I look for the Pacers to go back to New York up 3-1.
Man, it's crazy how many guys this Pacers team, you were talking about, there's multiple, they have multiple options at any given point of who could be the guy for that game. It's interesting. It's like they just went and found all these guys. Like all the dudes on their team they're all good at a lot of things. It's like Hallie might be, I mean, we're going to talk about All NBA tomorrow, but Hallie just got named All NBA. Like they've got one All NBA guy, definitely not a top 10 guy. They've got a bunch of other dudes who could play on any playoff team, like down the roster, like Pascal, Miles Turner, TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Neesmith, Mathurin. Like they've got dudes
just deep, man.
Deep. They are deep. And when
that's what real depth looks like. Like real depth looks like.
Yes. When you have real depth like this, when you have 8 guys that can like realistically give you 30 minutes and do each do something different and well in that 30 minutes. And it doesn't always have to be the same guy. And they all know how to play with each other at this point too. That's important. I don't know. They're the most in sync of these teams, I would say.
Yeah, and this kind of transitions right into that. Edward, great question. Thank y'all for being here. If you're on X, hop on over to YouTube. Comments are popping off as always. We got Edward, we got Wayno, we got DG. Y'all come hang out with us. Like and subscribe while you're here. But yeah, so absolutely with the way that the CBA has set up these 2 aprons, and the teams are so afraid of going into the apron. I think the days of the big 3 are going to be like kind of falling apart. And are falling by the wayside, I guess, because more and more to avoid these tax implications, I think teams are going to build just like what the Pacers are. They've got Hallie, who's truly like the only like quote unquote superstar on that team, supermax type player, and then a bunch of really good role players who know their job, right? The Obi Toppins that didn't pan out in New York, that are hungry for another opportunity, come here on a team friendly deal and just gel in the right system, right? Like you named them, Neesmith, Nembhard, Mathurin. None of these guys are going to be supermax players in their career. I think we're going to see a lot more teams like the Pacers. The Thunder have probably a couple supermax players on their team. They got SGA. You've got, I think Jalen Williams will probably be one of those dudes one day. Chet, if he continues to grow, can be these big contract guys. And they might as well enjoy it while they can. We're about to see Boston break up some of that. Yep. I think that this roster construction, like what you see in Indiana, is going to be more of the future of the NBA as teams try and avoid that second apron. And so, yeah, I think that a supermax and then a bunch of really good role players is how you're going to win in this league.
It's not quite Moneyball with baseball, but it's its own way of like working around these 2 aprons that have everybody shaking in their boots, because it's Indiana's a small market team and they're doing this and they're about to be in the finals. Like I think people are going to be like bashing their head on the wall if they don't look at this blueprint, especially small market teams. If they don't look at the way Indiana's built out their roster, if they don't, they'll be dinosaurs.
Yeah. And Wayno made this point a few minutes ago. Like, this is a blueprint that you can copy, though, right? Like, you can go find the Grizzlies. This is like, if Zach Kleiman is taking notes, I hope he's taking notes on what this Pacers team has done, because his franchise has done, because they built around a dude with a bunch of really, really good role players. And our depth was kind of front runners, right? Like, we're one of the deepest teams in the league, and turns out our depth wasn't that great. And so, like, you're going to have to find some legitimate role players in the realm of a Neesmith, Mathurin, Nembhard type player, Obi Toppin, that can come in and know their role alongside John Jaren. And so I think that this is the way. I think this is a blueprint that's copyable. What Indiana's doing and what the Thunder have done up to this point. Again, they're going to have to break up here before too much longer as they start having to pay these dudes. Yeah, and so watching what Indiana's doing, I think, is how you build us. I mean, and it's sustainable, right? They were in the finals last year, Eastern Conference Finals last year, and the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I guess it's a sustainable blueprint that can be replicated.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do because Miles Turner is a free agent. I think if I'm intrigued to see what they do with that, because in my mind is that'll be the first like free agent signing of their dudes where they're like, do we need to re-sign this guy or can we just let him go? Like I'm intrigued to see how they react to his season, which has been pretty good, because this will be the first. This dude's been in trade rumors for his entire career
for years.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see.
Especially like
free agency.
He's a great defender.
Yep.
Offensively, he kind of mires it down sometimes. So like he clearly can't play beside like a traditional big, right? Because he had Domantas Sabonis, one of the best traditional bigs in the league from a rebounding and scoring standpoint. So then what do? Right? Do they rely on Toppin and Pascal Siakam? Like, does that become their front court? Like, it's going to be an interesting summer in a lot of ways for a lot of teams. And can Indiana convince? Because if I'm Indiana, obviously I want to re-sign Miles Turner, but I want to do it at a rate that allows us to continue to build how we're building with a bunch of great role players.
Yeah, I'm watching. It's interesting. I went from thinking this is going to be a really, really odd offseason and one
an offseason that could help the Grizzlies. So this is a fantastic. And this is weird. It's a fantastic point by Daniel Greer. Wow. Can't believe I just said that. But this will absolutely help the Grizz because it's going to leave more role players that are going to be looking for a home that they can build into a system.
Yep. And it's making for what I thought was going to be I don't want to say boring offseason, but it's shaping up to be a much more intriguing offseason the way that this postseason has come. The way the playoffs are going is shaping up for an interesting summer, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this game tonight. I'm going to be watching. I also like that these games are on HBO, so I can watch them. They're easier to get their hands on. We're going to take a quick tick. I don't know. I came from the woods. We're going to take a quick break. We got a new commercial for you. You don't have to hear me read about commercials anymore. You don't have to hear me read about Ounce of Hopes because we have one for you right now, and we'll be right back after this break.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
Whoa, that's a good song. Whoa,
yeah, it's a vibe.
Yeah, baby. Ounceofhope.com. If you missed it in the commercial, it's right down here. Check it out, guys. The commercial was sick. I'm bopping. www.ounceofhope.com. Promo code BluffCity. Check it out, guys. Go get your stuffs from them. They're great. I'm excited. I went on the website on the drive home from the camping yesterday, and I was like, I literally started putting, I was like, oh, this is great. I started putting a little order together, and I was like, let's wait. We just spent a lot of money on camping. Let's wait till we get home. Let's reevaluate.
Peach Buzz and the Cherry Jane seltzers are the absolute move, man. Both of them are so tasty. Great. Like Kenny said, alcohol alternative, hangover free, and only 34 calories, man. Check out the seltzer line.
Tell you what, man, I little sidebar from camping this weekend. I don't drink, but I was with a lot of people that do drink. I'm no problem with that. But like, tell you what, I love getting up not hungover. And this stuff makes it awesome. Like this stuff, when you wake up with this stuff and you're like, I'm not hungover and everybody else is hungover, you feel like a smart guy. And I am not.
And you look smart too.
And you look smart. Yeah, exactly.
And I need all the help with that I can get. So ounceofhope.com can help me with that for sure.
Love it. All right. I've got one more thing I want to talk to you about. And it is not the all NBA teams. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I wanted to spend like a full show where we didn't have 2 games to talk about, where we just have 1 game. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But instead, we're going to talk about the Grizzly in waiting. One, Tarik Biberovic. Biberovic, man,
Yeah, sure.
you're
Whatever.
whatever.
The wrong fella.
Well, I spent a long time this morning figuring out how to say. Oh wait, where'd it go? Fenerbahçe. It's the Turkish basketball team that just won the EuroLeague. If you Google them right now, you'll get a bunch of really cool. It's that cool thing that Google does when someone wins the championship. If you Google the basketball team, they just won the EuroLeague Championship, and if you Google it, really cool stuff comes up. That might be the most exciting thing I say about this episode.
And we got a fan in the audience. Welcome.
Yes.
Damn, let's go, man.
Yes,
congratulations on the championship. Let's
Yes.
go.
I hope I said it correctly. Fenerbahçe. I spent a long time. I didn't know I was going to be under the microscope. Yes.
This is amazing. We're from Turkey. Let's go.
Let's go. So we're going to talk now. I got to get excited. We're going to talk about Tarik. So over the last 2 seasons, this dude has shot. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. In the past 2 seasons in Europe, this dude has shot 45% from deep with over 500 attempts. That is interesting. And that's actually something that is consistency. And I don't know, like, so this team, the Fenerbahçe team, oh man, I like that word. There's some dudes that have played on this team. This isn't just, this is a pretty, a lot of team. Well, I don't want to say a lot of teams. A lot of people I feel like they think of Europe or they think of these foreign leagues and they don't think of them as very good, which is silly because you watch these Europe teams and you watch these Euro leagues. This stuff is nuts. Like these dudes, they play hard. They're wild. Like the fan bases are wild. It's exciting to watch. But
yeah, I mean, it's like Jokic, right? When asked like something about being rattled on a road game, he's like, brother, I played in Slovenia. Like, no,
yes, not rattled. He's like, he doesn't even know what that word rattle means. But this is a team that has Boban has played for this team. Kim Birch has played for this team. Wade Baldwin. This is a team that has had some dudes who have had success in the NBA.
Shout out Wade Baldwin.
Wade Baldwin, my guy.
Let's go. Former Memphis Grizzlies, Vanderbilt, Commodore, Wade Baldwin.
I did my homework with the Fenerbahçe. I knew we were going to have a guy watching. So this is interesting with the free agents. And this is a dude that we draft and stashed. The draft and stash concept was one that I was not very familiar with until last year because when we drafted this kid, I was like, oh, it's actually a really smart. I mean, it's an interesting concept. If you have a pick, I don't want to say to waste, but if you have a pick to use it. And whenever
this was a 56
2
pick.
Years ago.
The 2023 draft, 56th pick. Like it was one that everybody at the time was kind of like, huh? But exactly right. It's a draft and stash guy overseas. See what you got. The other thing you were talking about his 3-point percentage earlier. I was looking at some of the stats while you were talking, and that's on an increasing tick. So he shot like 56% from 3 in 23-24 in one league, but it was only on like 2.5 attempts per game. Now he's averaging right at 5 attempts per game and shooting 45% over the last 3 years with that increased shooting. So that tells me, look, that this guy is a shooter. He is consistent. My only question is the one that Edward had earlier is, can he play defense? Can he guard? Because that's what we need. We need a 3-and-D kind of guy. And if it's this Tarik kid from Fenerbahçe coming over, which sounds like a fancy Turkish dessert, then I'm in. Like I'm all in on this dude. That's what it could be. If he's truly Denny Avdia with a better outside shot, like Wayno said, I'll take that. Denny Avdia is a great player for Portland. He's a plus, an above average defender, which is what we truly need in a 3-and-D kind of wing.
Yep. When we've got these dudes, like, I mean, if they are able, if Kennard, Bagley, if they don't have to sign any of these guys, I mean, even Santi, like if they don't have to sign any of these guys and they just have this kid who's ready and who isn't afraid to shoot and who is consistent, and the defense is going to be key because I don't want to bring another guy like he was averaging, I guess, almost 10 points. I don't want to bring another Zaire, a young kid who's going to average almost 8 points, but not actually be a real
not play defense. I mean, that's it. Like, and he's 6'6", so he's he's more in that like 2-guard kind of frame. But you can't have. We've got enough guys that like have a question mark on defense, right? John Des got better, but they're still not great perimeter defenders. GG has been an absolute just shell on defense. Like we don't need any more guys, like you said, that are kind of soft on defense. Like we need a guy who can score and can defend.
And And I don't think we've been relying on youth. A young man playing in the EuroLeague youth is different than a young man who just came out of a college in the USA. That is very, very different.
Yeah.
And I think it was Boban said this kid is ready for the NBA. There a lot of these dudes that have been around the league are like this. If there's a kid that's ready in the EuroLeague that is ready to make the jump, they're saying that it's this kid. So I am not as hesitant about the youth move. Like, I wouldn't view this as a youth movement. I would view this as getting like a younger bogey who's just been cooking over there in Europe. That's how I would look at it.
All right. So I'm looking at his draft report from 2 years ago when he was coming out in the Grizzlies draft, and he says he's a great all-around wing. He's got great size for his position. He's a good physical profile. He runs the floor well. He's effective offensively, both on and off the ball. Good pull-up shot. Weakness is an average athlete. Let's see. I'm trying to see what it says about. He's okay. He's just has an okay first step, which causes issues against athletic defenders. Ball handling needs some polishing. Now, again, this was 2 years ago, so it's probably improved some since then. But the overall remarks, and this is from NBADraft.net, and I use this a lot for my Khalil Ware article, and they kind of nail Khalil Ware.
Yeah, they're good.
Is a versatile wing with good size. Shooting is his calling card, but has shown potential as a secondary playmaker. His lack of playing time last couple of years and average athleticism are concerning. If he manages to have consistent playing time in Europe, he has potential to become an all-around point forward. So it sounds like a guy who can probably be pretty versatile depending on how he responds in the EuroLeague. And so, again, if it's a summer flyer, if it's something to see what we've got in this guy, if it's a Conchar replacement, something like that, as Art said, shout out Art, thanks for being here, buddy. I mean, if we get the guy for cheap, because we're going to have to build a roster cheap, give it a shot.
Yep. Look, we've been talking about the last thing that we want on this show. The last thing that I think we want as Grizzlies fans is for the Marvin Bagley, Luke Kennard to be the quote unquote, and Santi to be the signings, the big polished signings. So I'm excited for the idea of someone new and someone who isn't afraid. I'm just this intrigues me. It colors me intrigued. If I had a handlebar mustache, I would twirl it, but I don't. So we'll see. This might be one of the talking points as the summer goes on. We'll see if this is one of the names. Winning the EuroLeague Championship is that's a big deal. A chip's a chip, no matter how small. That's a big deal.
I mean, our head coach won one.
Yep.
And this is our second Euro guy that we're pulling over under him. So I'm like, this might be like a thing, right? Like it might be like a trend going forward. Maybe we can find some guys, some diamonds in the rough over there.
Yep. We'll see. I'm excited. Before we get out of here, last thing we want to do, it's Tuesday. I don't know what that was. Tuesday. Tube and Tuesday. That's better. We tube on Tuesdays around here. It's where we talk about what we're watching on the television. Because everyone has one of those. It's in the houses. I'm happy to go first because I'm going to cheat. I did not watch anything all weekend. Had no television, no phone service.
I love that.
And I watched a bonfire. I finished a book. I watched some really nice book pages. I played some harmonica. We played some music by the fire. I didn't do anything. I didn't watch anything. So my tube in Tuesday was my brain tube.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So I'm cheating. What did you watch? Because I came back this weekend and I was like, I felt like a crackhead. I was like, oh my God, Lilo and Stitch came out and there's a new Mission Impossible movie and I missed Last of Us. That's how I feel. So I'm excited to get caught up.
Yeah, so you and I are completely different. I love to read. Like, I have watched more TV in the last, year with Maggie than I have probably in the last 5 years. It's just what we do. We love to just sit beside each other. It's still quality time. We're not just mindlessly watching TV. We're talking, we're interacting. So don't hear that. But I just love to read. And so normally my Tube and Tuesday is what I'm reading. But yeah, I think you'll appreciate this. We started a new to me series that we're going to try and catch up on. We're still taking a break from Last of Us. I'm still not ready to move on from Joel yet. I
took a break.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. So we started watching House of Dragons, and I'm super stoked. As much as I love Game of Thrones, I was super stoked to start this. I haven't watched any of the 2 seasons. So we're starting those. We're in episode 4 of season 1. So things are already happening. It's a bit different in Game of Thrones just because in between each episode, there's like 4 years or 2 years. It's just these massive chunks of time, which I get, but Yeah, so House of Dragon, though, great. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I've really liked it so far.
We are so aligned on that show. It's not even my biggest. I gotta look over my shoulders. I don't want to have my nerd card revoked. I've got the book on my shelf, so don't at me, anybody. I didn't finish the show because the time jumps bothered me. I like I love I think I stopped really close after you are because I love the actress that plays I love the young actress that plays the young main character.
Yeah,
I love her.
Rhaenyra, she's awesome. She's so good.
Her.
I know, but she's aging out. Like I see the writing on the wall. Like at some point, she's not gonna be able to play the part anymore because she started at 14, and we've already gone forward like 8 years and only seen just like little bits of it. But the storyline is compelling. The battle scene's amazing. Like Damon is an awesome, like dark,
dope.
like
Damon's
dark,
dope.
like he's like he is sinister with the no eyebrow look, like truly like an evil looking face, like really, really great character. And Rhaenyra is a great character. And I hate that you're obviously gonna age out of her, but like it's cool, like you're making connections, right? Like Nymeria, who is ultimately one of the direwolf dog. Like you're seeing all these names that are coming up and connecting to Game of Thrones. Like I'm here for it. It's been great so far. Like absolutely, I really like the show.
I love the king. Viserys, is that the king? Whoever is the king,
he's
love
a very complex character, right? Because he's Viserys,
he just seems like a good. He's the first person in all of Game of Thrones who just seems like not a competent king at all, but like just a good dude and is just trying to do the right thing. And it's like, brother, you were in the wrong game if you were trying to be I'm just trying to do right by my family. It's like, brother,
that's it. I misread him and I was like, oh, he's getting unhinged. But you're absolutely right. Like you can just see the pressure of everything pressing down on him. He gets really drunk at the bonfire and says some stuff to Alicent Hightower. Like you can tell, like the pressure getting to him because you're right. He wants a son so bad, which in that like lineage, like you need a son to pass it along, right? But he also wants to do right by his daughter, who's a badass and she's awesome. And he's trying to rule the kingdom, and he's trying to do right by his brother, who is absolutely unhinged,
out of his mind.
He's got the hand that's very giving sinister vibes. The Otto Hightower. You got his brother-in-law who's over here, like the sea snake. Like it's just a wild mix of people, and it makes for great entertaining shows. So
he's like the dad at the Christmas party that is the family Christmas party where everyone's had a bit too much to drink, just trying to hold it all together. He's like, Uncle Joe, don't say that. There's no need to say that. It's
exactly right.
I'm excited. I'm glad you started that because I didn't finish it, so I'm going to be living vicariously through you.
Oh man, I'm going to finish it because I'm hooked. I'm Ian. Even it like, and Maggie had the same beef, right? Like I had the same beef with just the long like time jumps, but it's something I can get over, kind of get past, just because of how good the story is. But it is frustrating that we've missed so much time, right?
Yep. I want to spend all the time there in Westeros because that's silly. Ignore me. Well, that's going to do it for our show today. Westeros, if you're watching, come hang. We might have a Westeros episode. Has Drew watched Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, big Game of Thrones guy.
Cool. We might have we can do a Game of Thrones draft. We might do that tomorrow. We will be back tomorrow to talk all NBA. We'll talk about this game. We might do a Game of Thrones draft. I don't know. Little secret. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching all the way in Turkey, my friend. Fenerbahçe, go EuroLeague champs.
Hey, whatever this guy said. Yes.
Yes. I will translate that in the break. Thank you guys. Have a good day today. If we can leave you with anything like we do, remember these two things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. Remember to smile, guys. Remember, it's important. See y'all. We will be back tomorrow. Have a great day.